afternoon. My name is Scott Dudley, and I'm the host for the Central Texas Invitational. We're glad you could make it out today in Belton, Texas. Such a beautiful day for drums, isn't it? Before we start our finale and our award ceremony, we're going to have our special guests play. This is John Lopez in the Southwest Texas State University Bobcat Drumline. Let's give him a hand, please.
Thank you very much. Before we actually get started with anything we're going to do today, I want to introduce my staff, because without them I couldn't do nearly half the stuff that we try and do with the drumline. First of all, my snare tech, Mr. Brian Gill. In charge of the tenor section, Mr. Sean Salinas. In charge of the cymbal section, she couldn't be here with us today, but her name is Jeanette Eby. And in charge of our pit percussion, Miss Shannon Hennessy. So anyway, we want to get to a lot of playing. The main thing I want to do with the first half of this presentation is just go through some of the things that we do in the battery and we do in the pit percussion that I know some of you probably do in your own drum lines, but as a teacher, to try and always convince my students that, hey, what I'm saying is the right thing. I always like to hear other drum lines and other drumline instructors say the same thing. So I want to do this for not only the drum lines, but the drumline instructors who always do these exercises that are full extension, eights and bucks and all kinds of little things. And some of the students might say, what is this for? Well, it's to make you a better drumline, and drumlines that are really good do the same exercises. I just want to prove to you that some things that your drumline instructors have been saying to you are the right things. So you can hear some of the exercises we do to get started. They're very simple exercises, but we think they make us a better drumline, hopefully you. So I'm going to have the battery go ahead and stand up for this. The first exercise we always start with, and I'm sure this is probably true for everyone, is some kind of motion exercise. Just get the hands going, get the hands moving. What we do is we do an exercise we call nines, which is just 9 to a hand, nine notes with the right, 9 notes with the left, and we do it at various inch heights. One of the first ones we always start with we call full extension, just to get the drum line really pumping and moving and warmed up as soon as possible. So we're going to do a little bit of this, go through some bass drum split parts and all that, so you can see how we start. couple things we might do differently than some of the things you do in high school. First of all, if you notice, we don't have a snare drum start off our exercises. You know, like maybe with a snare tap or anything like that. The reason we have it all done vocal, center snare 4, and then ensemble 4 duts, okay, is because we're trying to achieve the same situation that we encounter when we're on the field. When you're on the field and your drum line is getting ready to come in with a passage, I don't think I've ever seen a drum line where the center snare clicks off the next entrance of the drum line in the middle of a show. So, you know, if it's all done on the field through duts, center snare or the drumline duts before they play on the field, we do the same thing in the warm-up. So we're always warming that up. And the sticks come in and the sticks come out, so we're always practicing that visual aspect, because half of everything that goes on here has to be visually together. You know, that's half the job of the drumline, is to be visually together. Another thing over here in the cymbal section, if you notice, they didn't play a single note. They didn't play anything. All they did was line up their power crashes and their concert crash positions, trying to get nice, good positions and angles and all that before they even play a single crash. Next, I'd like to bring Brian Gill up to take the drumline through the next series of exercises, which are the bucks, triple bucks, funky bucks exercises that we do to start getting our accents and our taps in each hand. He doesn't want to talk on the mic. Here you go. This is our bucks routine that we go through.
Stress in our tap accent exercises. We basically have 3 that we do. Works groups of 2, groups of 3, and then changeovers with accents, you know, going straight from right to left. That one basically works on the 2s and then straight right to left. You know, as part of our 9/8 sequence. You know, you notice we did 9s to warm up. Usually when we're warming up before a show, or before practice, or you know, any kind of performance or rehearsal, we always just go straight into it from the 9 sequence. So we do our 9s at our different heights, you know, 3 inches, 6 inches, 9 inches, 12 inches, making sure we have nice control of the power that we're playing the strokes at, and control of the height we're playing it at to match it visually. And then we just go straight into the buck sequence, which are all based off of a 9/8 as well. Another thing I like to stress that we really have these guys play is most of the time when tap accents are played by drum lines, they really stress more on the accent sometimes than the inner beats. And what we really like to make sure that the drum line knows when we're practicing these exercises is that there's always a consistent 8th note pulse. So yes, attention is paid to the accents, and yes, attention is paid to the inner beats as well, but there's always a consistent 8th note pulse. So, you know, the snares can probably attest to the fact that I'm always saying pulse, 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 you know, probably said when you. So we'll play the rest of our buck sequence. The next one's triplet bucks. It works on groups of 3, and then we have one more buck sequence that combines them.
At this time, I'd like to go and talk about some of the things before we run out of time. Talk about some of the things we do in the keyboard section, some of the mallet things I do. So battery, go ahead and put your drums down for a second. Keyboards, you're up. I'd like to bring my pit instructor Shannon Hennessy up to talk about a few of the things that she does with them, and so you can briefly see what we do with them. Same type principle, short, simple, little exercises that they can take through all the keys, okay? And then we also loop all these small little exercises together into one long one, so we can practice all the keys together. So I'll let Shannon give more explanation on this, and then I'm going to run the metronome for her.
To start out our exercises, what we do every day to get our hands warmed up, just get ready to play, is an exercise called chromatic eights. And what we do is go up the chromatic scale, striking each key 8 times. Then we go down 7, up 6, down 5, okay, etc. We go all the way down to 1. We do 1 twice. Okay? We're going to start out with chromatic eights for you. All of your exercises with a metronome, just to make sure that your pit as well as your battery are always on the beat and can keep a consistent tempo without rushing or dragging. If you'll notice, a lot of the players, should be most of the players, are using a fairly high stick height on this exercise. They're getting the stick height not by pounding down with fingers completely around the mallet and just with wrist really digging in. That's not the kind of stroke we use. We use what we call a piston stroke, and it's a combination of the wrist and fingers, and it's a very easy stroke to do. It's very relaxed, and it gives you a nice full sound with good high stick heights, and that's what we really stress in the pit. That's our technique we use. The next exercise we're going to do for you is an exercise containing 4 notes, and it's a green and 4. All of these exercises we're getting, a exception of the chromatic eights, are variations from the book G.H. Green Xylophone Technique book. It's a great book to get for 2-mallet technique. And the next exercise we're going to do for you is called green and 4s. We're going to do this in the key of C major. Great. The next exercise we're going to do for you is called green in 3rds, and this exercise is in F. notice when Mr. Lopez is giving the preparatory beats right before they begin playing, a lot of them are doing the pulsing rhythm right here. They're just pulsing their mallets, and that's a good way. Like you'll see the battery section dudding. He was talking about dudding, keeping the beat. This is the way we dud. In a way, we just use our mallets, and it's a visual thing. You can look at each other, and if you're doing two different things, then you know that you're not all on the same beat. Okay, so it's a good way to keep time. The next exercise we're going to do combines the entire green pattern, only it's a breakdown. We start with a check pattern of 16th notes, and then we do 3s, 5s, and 9s. We're going to do this exercise in D major. Exercise in arpeggios, and this just starts out with a check pattern just to make sure that we're all even and together 4 times through the arpeggio, and then they're going to go up the scale. This is in B flat. All of these exercises together in one sequence. This is a good way to get through all the keys, all the major keys is what we've done so far. You can go as far as into minors and modes and such if you really want to. And we combine all of these exercises together without stopping. So here's our sequence of exercises that we do. This is in G flat major.
Thank you. I'd like to continue a little bit with what we do with the drum line, and then I want to get to a cadence that they do. So here we go with some more drumline warm-ups. This is an exercise that we do to start working on our diddles. We call it a triplet diddle exercise. Starts working on diddles and rolls. So this is called triplet diddles. Okay. The main reason we're gonna go into a cadence here, but the main reason I wanted to start off this little session with some of the exercises we do is to kind of drive the point home that it doesn't have to be a very difficult exercise to get done what you need to do. I think a lot of times when I go out, I've went out a lot this summer and clinicked a lot of drumlines, and most of the problems that all the drumlines I saw this summer had was that they were trying to do very, very challenging exercises that they saw some drum corps somewhere doing. And most of the times I walk in and say, okay, what are your exercises? And they say, oh, well, we've got this one we call Santa Clara, and we got this one we call BD, and then there's that one we call Velvet Nights, and it's just everything comes from some drum corps somewhere that they saw, and what they're getting out of the exercise is not doing them any good because they're not getting the right things out of the exercise. Way above their heads is not getting the right things. What we do are very simple exercises that everybody should do and can do, and they work on the right things that you need to do to develop your music. I'm gonna have the drumline play a little cadence for you, and then we're gonna have one of our snare drummers do a snare drum solo for you. So this is a cadence written by our our snare tech, Brian Gill. Sorry, Brian. Written by our snare tech, Brian Gill. It's called Ralu. Now we saw the pit do a bunch of little mallet exercises, but as you can see, we've got a drum set, bass guitar, all these accessories things that we use in the pit. We like to do a piece with the pit that's totally separate from our marching band concert or marching band show. That's something that could feature the entire pit, including all the accessories, the rhythm, the congas, timbales, and everything. This is a piece written by Tito Puente entitled Linda Chicana, and it's in a cha-cha-cha style, and it's arranged by Shannon Hennessy and myself for the pit percussion. Our next act, Mr. Ryan Cerna, sophomore, music major at Southwest Texas State University, is the high school snare drum champion for the PASIC competition 2 years ago. He's going to go back to the PASIC individual snare drum competition this November, competing in the collegiate category now. So this is Mr. Ryan Cerna. Is going to play a portion of his solo that he's going to be taking to PASIC this November. I cannot speak today. So the floor is over to Mr. Ryan Cerna. For our closing number, some of you saw us perform this when you walked in, but we're going to play it for everybody now. This is these are the percussion parts to our closer for this year's marching band show. It's entitled Malagueña. The closer is. Our show is a Latin jazz show. If anybody is going to be at Westlake, any of the schools here are going to be at Westlake, we're going to be performing at Westlake and at the BOA contest in Houston. So you'll be able to catch our entire show then and hear these parts with the drumline. It's an exciting, exciting show. We got a great marching band. Our marching band director is in the stand somewhere. Mr. Hudson, could you stand up? Always in support of our activities, and we have a great band director, and I want to take the time to notice him right now. These are the, like I said, these are the percussion parts, marching percussion parts to our closer that we'll be performing at Westlakes and at BOA in Houston. This is Malagueña. 97 Bobcat Band Drumline. We've enjoyed playing for you today. Thank you, Scott Dudley, for having us out. We've had a lot of fun, folks. I hope all you had a good show today. Thank you for having us out.
This time I'd like to present a plaque of participation to John Lopez in the Southwest Texas Bobcat Drumline. For their participation in the Central Texas Drumline Invitational, we couldn't have ended it on a better note. Give him a hand, please. At this time, we'd like to have a representative from every participating drumline today. Please come forward, either a section leader or your instructor, preferably a student. If not, spend a little time to come down and we'll get started. Clemens High School, please. Give a hand, please. Hayes High School. Georgetown High School. Lampasas High School. Copperas Cove High School. Killeen High School. Killeen Ellison High School. Franklin High School. Meridian High School. And La Vega High School. There it is, all right. We're going to start with best in class categories, and then we're going to go to caption categories, and then we're going to have a best overall of the day trophy. We're going to start with the Class B drumline. First place in Class B drumline today is La Vega High School. We don't have a representative, but we're going to go ahead and announce it. First place in Class A is Park Crest Middle School from Pflugerville. Mr. Russes will happily take that trophy home. We're going to go on to the caption awards. Best pit, tenor, snare, cymbal, bass drum. Not necessarily in that order. Let's start with best pit overall. Colleen Ellison. Best cymbal line, Georgetown High School. Best tenor line, Colleen Ellison High School. Best bass drum line, Hayes High School. Best snare line, Colleen Ellison High School. And finally, best in open class and best overall drumline of the day, Hayes High School. Congratulations to everyone. It's been an excellent day. This is the best year in 3 years that we've had this contest. This is also the first year we've had lines in all 3 size categories, and they've been very outstanding, from Class B all the way to open class. We also want to especially thank our sponsors for whom we could not make this possible without. Sabian Cymbals Limited and Halsey Music. Let's give them a hand, please. We also want to give a special thank you again to Mr. Mark Wessels from Plano, and we had a wonderful day. We got a lot out of it. Give him a hand, please. Thanks for coming out. Everyone have a safe trip home.